You're listening to another Geek Pride podcast.
Hi everybody, Matt here for Geek Pride at EGX 2017 at the Birmingham NEC, and I have the distinct privilege to have first-time podcaster Peter Allison. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. Been here since yesterday. Usually I do the 4 days, but I had my girlfriend's son and her brother with me, so I've been walking them around, sort of showing the different games and stuff. It's their first big sort of gaming convention, so...
What was their experience? This was their first one. What do they make of it?
I think they were quite overwhelmed by the whole thing.
It is big. This is big.
For somebody who hasn't done anything like this before, they're sort of like, the little eyes just walked in and went, oh my god, like they're big PlayStation fans, so no, PlayStation are massively represented here.
Yeah.
So they've been enjoying it. Let's see what we've done. We walked around. We pretty much came in. We had to walk around everything. Obviously, there's the big Destiny thing behind us, which you wouldn't be able to see, but it's behind us. They're playing. It's like a Virgin Fiber thing, and they've got like I got a good 20 screens up there playing Destiny. We had a game on that. We came first. 46-14. I got 26 kills, so I'm all good. We played some Call of Duty. We played some Far Cry.
What did you make of Far Cry? That has been a very controversial game by all accounts.
I've never played a Far Cry game before.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say something else, but...
It's just like I've never played a Far Cry game in my life, and that was my first experience of it. Yeah, it's open world, like sound pretty good. We were sort of a bit taken aback by the recoil and the guns seems to be quite big. I'm not sure if it's more realistic or something. You know, Far Cry's meant to be a bit of a tongue-in-cheek type game, but
it does have very realistic physics in it.
Yeah,
very real-world physics. I mean, the first Far Cry was basically Die Hard meets Rambo.
We're covered in smoke by the dragon. This is obviously Shadows of Mordor game, which I'm really looking forward to. Unfortunately, I have not played yet.
No.
Because the queues are massive. I haven't even played Battlefront yet, because the queues have literally been around the block for the whole game.
There's also been Total War, Warhammer 2.
Yeah. How to go with that?
You are a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
What do you think of it?
Well, it extends the original one. Now, my issue is, do you need a sequel game to extend the original one when you could just bring out DLC and stuff? Probably not. But yeah, it adds more to it. And for me, my annoyance with the first one was that you were restricted to quite a few things you could be and stuff. So I'm glad there's more in it now. So hopefully they'll keep on going with that.
Is it worth the asking price? That is the key question. Is it worth it?
I don't think any game's worth these asking prices these days.
Yeah.
The prices of games these days is like, I bought Destiny recently, yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought the special one, which was you get sort of all the add-ons and things like that. Nothing major.
Taken King,
and then it cost me like nearly like 90 quid or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm a fool for paying it, but I was just like, that's just it, isn't it? And it's just.
Are you getting 90 quid's worth of entertainment out of it?
Yeah, you know what? Destiny, and we talked about this in a couple of other podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it more than I was. I had the first Destiny I enjoyed, but I wasn't, I didn't get much from. I was like, yeah, I completed the campaign, and I was like, yeah, that's good, nothing major. I finished the campaign in this one, and I was still kind of going, yeah, I'm not sure. But then I started leveling up a bit more, my gear and things, and I have to admit, I'm enjoying it, and I actually quite like the PvP, and I like the fact that some of them, you've only got one life, or, you've got to, just because you kill a guy doesn't mean you get a point. You have to pick up emblems and stuff for you to win, and you can stop them from getting things by picking up emblems. So I'm quite enjoying that as well. Another game which I've sort of changed my mind about slightly is Call of Duty as well.
Yeah.
Now, Call of Duty, I had fallen out of love with for a while.
How so? Go on. Spill the beans.
Well, after like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, which I loved, they just got a bit formulaic and stuff, and they tried to sort of change the scene. So you had Black Ops and the different sort of the Vietnam stuff, and then went futuristic and can't see what they were doing. But it was the same old, and I just was not enjoying it. Now, we just had a game. It's just behind us, actually. We had a game, and it's basically, it's in sections. You literally, and now Halo has done this years ago, but you basically start off as, like, if you're the allies, you've got to get to a house and you've got to steal some information, and then if you get that, you've got to build a bridge, and then you've got to move on to these different sections.
It's mission focused.
And the Germans have to prevent you from doing that, and I like that. I think that's a good mechanic, and it makes it more about teamwork and focusing on one thing than literally just running and gunning. And that's one thing that really annoys me about Call of Duty is running and gunning. Hate it. One, because I suck at running and gunning. I'm good at like games like Halo and stuff where you got overshields and you can bump them and stuff, and you can do stuff like that. You get a bit more leeway. Whereas games where it's all about no-scoping and knowing the tricks and stuff, and being like these kids these days, super great with the reflexes.
Yeah, I am now in my 40s. I can't keep up with those teenagers. I turn around and I'm shot dead.
Yeah, it's true, man.
I respawn, shot dead.
Yeah, I to be honest, I was quite impressed that I did so well in the Destiny things. I thought I was going to get owned, but it's kids these days, man. I'm glad I'm saying that now. Kids these days, and their Call of Duty and their PlayStations and such. Feeling well old, but it's changed my mind a bit, and I might actually get it. Plus, I'm a big history buff, so I like my World War II. So, it's changed my mind. So I might give that a whirl. I want to give the new Battlefield a go, and I want to give Shadows of Mordor a go before I leave. Unfortunately, what time does it close at today? 6?
5, 6,
maybe? 6, right. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. Hopefully, I'll maybe get a game. It's just like Battlefront, the second Battlefront. The first one was such a disappointment. It's just like they kind of went, this is Star Wars, you can buy it. And they didn't put a lot of effort into it, and annoyed me. And this one, I just hope's a lot better, because it will upset me.
It can't have been much worse.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, this game behind us with the people sitting on the dragon. I know you can't probably see, but there's a lady up here on a dragon, and people getting photographs taken. The game itself, if you've played the first one,
Shadows of Mordor.
This one, is it actually called? Shadow of War.
Shadow of War.
Yeah, Shadows of Mordor was the first one. Shadow of War is the second one. Yeah, Shadows of Mordor. It was like you're playing a ranger, and you've got this like elf wraith who's like helping you through it and stuff. Same sort of principle, but in this one you can get orc allies and things like that.
Nice.
And you can sort of use sort of the orcs. You can basically dominate them to help you out and take over Mordor and stuff. And I like that idea. I like that concept.
That sounds very cool.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So what have you played? What have you been up to?
Okay, I've been checking out the indie section, the res section.
Right.
Mostly because there's no queues. I can't stand queuing. But yeah, the indie section, that's where the innovation lies.
Right.
And I've been looking at Thea.
Okay.
This really cool Slavic role-playing game. Think The Witcher.
I don't think you've ever had a Slavic role-playing game in the same sentence before.
Witcher.
That
is Slavic.
Yeah, right, okay.
That is heavily influenced by Slavic folklore.
I did not know that.
This is looking more at the gods and the pantheon. So if you've got even the slightest interest in Slavic folklore, check that out.
Right, okay. All right, okay. Fair dues. Cool.
Also been checking out Cruiser Parallax by Radiation Burn.
Okay.
Take Homeworld and make it a fighter sim, but you have a squadron. And that is just awesome, because he just calls out for modding.
Right, okay.
And they have said that we want people to mod this game for us. So you could have like Babylon 5, Star Furies. I would be so on board with that. Someone please mod Parallax with Babylon 5. Please.
Do you know what? When anybody says Babylon 5, I just think of the... what's the word? Space, when he's like, Babylon 5's a big pile of shit. Get out.
Well, yes. That is a purely spot-on reaction.
Have you ever seen that space? It was basically he's working in a comic book store, and I think it's Bill Bailey's his boss, and he's basically working. He doesn't want to work there anymore. He wants to go back to his old place. Yeah. So to get fired, he just goes up to Bill Bailey, goes, "Hey, I can't remember his name. Bilbo, I think they call him Bilbo. Bilbo." He said, "What?" He's like, "Babylon 5's a big pile of shit. Get out." And that's it. Yeah.
Justifiable reaction, to be fair.
You've met, what's her name from Babylon 5? Did you interview?
Patricia Tallman.
Yeah.
Yes, otherwise known as Lita Alexander.
Yeah.
With a slightly rude element as well, but we won't go into this. But yes, she was lovely. She was very lovely, as was Claudie Christian.
Yep.
Yeah, really cool people to speak to. If you get the chance to see them at convention, say hello to them. They're always absolutely brilliant people to speak to.
Yeah. So, were you here last year?
Yes, I was.
So, I was here the year before last, and it was in the other part of the building and stuff in the NEC. Where was it last year?
Don't quote me on this, because it's been a year. My memory isn't what it once was. But
Getting old, Pete.
I'm getting old, But no, I think it was pretty much in this area.
Right, okay.
But not as big. I know I say it every time, this is the biggest one yet.
Okay.
But it just keeps growing.
Right, okay. Well, I don't know, there's something about it that sort of, I'm not sure, does it feel a bit more spaced out?
Definitely.
Yeah, just a bit more spaced out?
I think also it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturdays are busier. Sunday's a bit quieter.
We were here yesterday, and it was because, and don't get me wrong, I like space. I like being able. Yeah. One of the things that sort of annoys me the most about conventions is, especially when I've got all camera gear and things like that, is walking around and people bumping into you and people are annoying. And you're just like, I'm gonna punch you right in the smush, and you're just like getting them away and stuff. So I'm liking the fact that you've got space to move around and stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose it does. It feels a bit empty because there's so much space, but conversely, it's good for your experience.
Exactly.
My only major issue is, do you think that there's one big company that isn't fully represented here today?
Who do you think?
Xbox. It's just like they've got little bits and pieces
Yeah.
here. But it's like, this is, I'm an Xbox loyalist.
Likewise.
I love my Xbox. I briefly sort of flirted with PlayStation at the very start, and then my friend went, "Here, Xbox with Halo," and I went, "This is the best thing I've ever played in my life."
Yes.
And I just stayed, and
Yes.
that's it. I've always been Xbox since then. But it just seems that every convention I go to, PlayStation's everywhere. PlayStation, and I'm not sure if it's because it's bigger in the UK or not, but, if you look around here, PlayStation. But if you go and you try and find Xbox, they're hidden away.
They are
and there's
very
not,
missing.
I think they've got Assassin's Creed Origins over there,
Yeah.
and, they've got a few other bits and bobs. There's a pirate game what's it called? Tales?
No.
Crap. A girl I know who helped develop as well, and she's going to kick my ass because I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, there's a pirate game over there.
Very good
but
one, trust us.
I cannot remember its name. But, that's Xbox, but it's like,
It's underrepresented
yeah,
here.
I think it is. There's no big sort of, this is Xbox, and I think they're doing themselves a mischief.
Yeah.
And as an Xbox loyalist, I feel like I'm surrounded by enemies today.
Yeah.
It's just blue. There's no green anywhere. It's
Yeah, it is underrepresented. They need to kind of get out and engage with their fans.
Yeah, and I don't understand why that is, because it seems I've been in a few conventions and it's been the same thing. PlayStation have just come in balls deep, just be, we're a PlayStation, fuck you, here we go. Whereas when I go to these things, Xbox is barely there. The fact that when we play, when we do Play Expo, which will be in Play Expo mid-October,
nice.
I'll bring my Xbox. But there's always PlayStations everywhere and very few Xbox stuff.
I think the problem is they don't have a really key Xbox title, as in a Halo.
Yeah.
That's what they need.
That's it, isn't it? I think they lag behind, as much as I hate to say it. They really lag behind their PlayStation when it comes to sort of their own, what's the phrase, exclusives.
Launch titles.
Yeah, launch title. Now, there is an Xbox launch title coming out, and I cannot, my names are fucking bad. I can describe it for you. It's basically like Destiny meets Iron Man meets. It's from BioShock. The guys from BioShock.
Ascent.
No. It's kind of like it's basically. I cannot remember.
But yeah, it's
somebody. I'm sure you can
tell us,
comment.
please.
You can let us know. Comment on it. Anthem.
Yes.
Anthem. That's it.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but
and
BioWare, Iron Man.
Yeah, so Destiny.
Big space opera.
Yeah.
What isn't to like?
Yeah, it looks amazing. This is the thing. You're getting these big sort of like you walk into these big sort of kind of Iron Man suits. You basically fly off. You're flying around. It's like an RPG type thing, but it's open world. So again, like Destiny. So yeah, that's good. Now that's not an Xbox exclusive. It's an Xbox launch exclusive. So they'll get it first.
They'll get first.
6
dibs. Months later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, they've got that. Now that was mentioned.
But that is lagging behind.
Yeah. Well, they've got to get a new Halo game out.
Yeah.
And when you get a new Halo game out, then they bring split screen back because it was just a nightmare without split screen. They need to bring out some new IP.
Yep.
Do something, because it's annoying me that all my mates are like, yeah, PlayStation are doing this, PlayStation are doing that, and I'm like, oh great, I'm just playing the same games.
Yeah, but I'm going to cause controversy here, but I don't like PlayStations.
What?
I don't like PlayStations.
Well, what's the problem with the PlayStation?
4 years ago, the PlayStation Network a hack attack. Sorry, but no, I do not trust that network with my details.
I thought it was like a PlayStation had cheated on you with somebody else or something. You're like, oh, you bitch. Stay away from me.
No, I got Halo. And then thought, screw PlayStation. Then I saw the PlayStation Network attack and thought, no, that should not happen.
Now, what do you think about cross-platform compatibility? So basically, being able to play PlayStation and Xbox games. So if you're on Xbox, you'll be able to play people on PlayStation. If you're on PlayStation, you'll be able to play people on Xbox.
That is good in theory. It's a great idea in theory. But you're talking about two completely different platforms. Trying to get
are they that different though? Deep down, now, I appreciate. I'm an Xbox. I said I'm an Xbox loyalist. I love Xbox. I will go. They're the best. But having played Xbox and PlayStation, I don't think there's a massive difference.
Yeah, graphically and functionally, they are very similar. But looking at the technical aspect, their foundations, their architecture is quite different inside. They have the same functionality, but the way they process, you can't take a PlayStation disc, chuck it in an Xbox.
Yeah,
that is the key issue.
Yeah, I think what they're saying is it's not like you're going to be able to play a PlayStation game and play it on the Xbox. It's going to be you buy your Xbox game and you can play people who are playing the PlayStation version of it and stuff.
Again, you're still going to have that interface issue because still the underlying code is different.
Interesting. I can't remember what game it was. There was a game out recently, or it's coming out, and they say that they've already got cross-platform compatibility. They're playing it against other people,
I would be interested to see how that works, to be honest. I would be very interested. Because also PlayStation and Xbox are they keep their code very tight to themselves.
I think PlayStation is a PlayStation, right? There's one of them has basically turned around and said, yeah, we're okay with that in theory. They're just waiting for the other side to go, yeah, we'll do that too. The problem is when you get that, I suppose you're doing yourself a mischief because you could be kind of going, oh, look, we've got these games. You should come to us. You could buy our console. Whereas if they can get the same game and they're playing across the piece, then they're doing themselves a mischief.
They are. Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. So, I suddenly got a lot busier for some reason. Like literally
we're famous.
It's because we're here, Pete.
Yeah, we're famous.
That's what it is. Everybody's kind of going, yeah. It's something, having a big camera does for you, Yeah. It's like, having a big penis. Or so they tell me.
I'm going to step aside.
Not too far, you're coming out of the camera shot.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's been... I'm enjoying it. It's good because every convention or every AGX I come to, I'm usually doing a lot of interviews. I'm usually doing a lot of talking to people and stuff. And this time round, I've taken photographs, doing this with you, and I've walked around. I've actually played some games, which I've kind of enjoyed it for once instead of stressing out about everything and stuff. So, and I might even get on top of this dragon later.
kinky. But yeah,
That's what she said.
no, this is the place where you want to go around, wander around, see what games, see what takes your fancy. Because there is a butt ton of fantastic games here.
There are. It's sort of kind of overwhelming, and it's like you get to that point where you're walking around, you're like, I don't know where to start. The only annoying thing is the queues for the game. Like the queue for, not say it's off camera over here, but the queue for Battlefront is massive and has been massive since Saturday morning. As soon as I walked in here, 10 o'clock Saturday morning, rammed, full of people, and hasn't moved.
And they have signs saying, waiting from this point, 1 hour. When you have waiting times that are listed in hours.
There's one at 2 hours, man. It's at the end of the line's 2 hours. So I don't think I'd ever wait for 2 hours to play a game.
No.
Like Call of Duty took us 40 minutes, I think, and that was a push. I was just like,
wow,
for like 10 minutes worth of game. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that, but because Ryan and Connor wanted to play it, I was like, all right, okay, I'll get in there. I'll do that. But yeah, and even the Destiny, when we were waiting for the Destiny thing again, that was another sort of like 30 minutes. The only good thing was that we got a free T-shirt, we got a free poster, and we got some free Rockstar. So it was kind of like
freebies.
It was sort of weighing it up,
Yeah. Do you want the freebies? Come on, get the freebies.
Yeah, well, I'm all about the freebies. It's all about the freebies. Man. That's what we do. You need to move in here, man. You're moving out of screen here. Yeah, I'm loving this kind of glow we've got going on in our backgrounds. Healthy glow. Just bear with me 1 minute. We are on 21 minutes and counting. Okay, so have you played Assassin's Creed yet?
No, I haven't. I must admit, the Assassin's Creed games just do not do it for me.
Me either.
The plot is just bobbins. I'm sorry, the plot is complete bobbins.
The gameplay is a bit repetitive as well.
The only remotely decent Assassin's Creed game was Black Flag. That was fun.
Dave Foy said that last week on the podcast as well. He said it was good, but I've just had zero interest in them.
Yeah.
It's not a game I've kind of gone, I want to play that. And that's not bothered.
No, the Assassin's Creed games are overhyped, overlong, and a bit shit. If you want to play Assassin's Creed game, Black Flag. That's it. That's all you need to play. And avoid Assassin's Creed 3. That is the worst of the lot.
Now, obviously, we haven't played in the Assassin's Creed, so we can't comment.
No.
So, by all means, it could be. Like I said, I was dissing Call of Duty, and then I was like, all right, maybe not so bad. So, give it a go. If you're into those sort of games, you're going to be into those sort of games. It's just like my girlfriend's son. He loves all the Call of Duty games, and it doesn't matter which one he's playing. He loves it.
Wow.
And it's just like, and I suppose it's not like me in Halo because I was really disappointed in the last Halo. But I suppose if you're loyal to something, you sort of look aside at all the bad parts, and But that's right. People looking at us very strangely.
I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5.
Far Cry looked good. I played it a bit. Like we said, the mechanics were quite sort of realistic. I was just a bit sort of. I know it isn't released yet, but when I was shooting guys, it was like. The sprites just seemed a bit sort of like headless chickens and stuff. It's like, I shot a guy and he does this thing where he sort of kind of, he turns, he doesn't know what he's doing, and then he runs into a fence and then runs through the fence.
Ooh.
But bad glitching and stuff.
That's bad.
And then it's just like, oh man, I'm not sure if that's just because it's sort of still got stuff to do. But yeah, it was good. I got into an Optimus Prime truck and ran some guys over. Nice. That being said, I was going full pelt along this road, and there was a truck in the way, this ute, and I was smashed into it, and it just sort of kind of pushed it aside. It didn't kind of crush through it. It just kind of went, and it went aside. I was like, what?
That's disappointing. Though.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
I mean, is the setting as controversial as it makes out in the trailers?
It's only controversial because of it's only controversial if you're a Trump supporter.
You're getting political here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately you can't get through a Geek podcast without him being mentioned.
Sorry.
He would not be mentioned. Right. But it's it's just taking the piss. It's not been serious ever really. So
it never has been serious.
If you take that shit seriously, then it's a game. Yeah. In the end.
Absolutely.
And it's a bunch of rednecks, and there's no doubt people who are like that. So that's just it. So
Yeah.
there you go. Just they've had it in like Russian, not Russian, in other countries based. They're the bad guys now.
Yeah.
They've actually
Afghanistan.
they based it in America.
And
it's
now
like,
we are the bad guys.
yeah, and they're the bad guys. So it's just sort of, one of those things. So, yeah, I don't think it's controversial. I think it's just a game. That's it. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
That's what the Geek Pride message is. Deal with it.
Deal with it. Have you heard there's a footballer, can't even remember because I don't do football, but he got really annoyed with FIFA, EA, because his FIFA stats were lower than he thought he deserved.
Oh.
And I was like, come on, man, it's just a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. Granted, if somebody was making a character of me and, they didn't give me super guns and, just sort of I'll be like, whoa, what's going on? I'm solely better than that. But yeah, it's a game. That's the way it is. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yeah. I was going to say something and I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Okay, I've remembered.
Excellent.
I remembered now. Okay.
Brilliant.
I was walking around and I was looking at the Minecraft section.
Yes.
I was looking at the Minecraft section, and Minecraft is a game that is. It looks like we're gonna get covered in smoke again. Woo! So Minecraft is a game which is very basic but very in depth in the same way.
Very much
I
so.
like the fact that it's got nearly unlimited sort of kind of possibilities within it. What are your views on games like that focus mainly on graphics and don't give you a lot of sort of depth?
Safe. I think they're very safe.
Do you think that there has to be a time when they will go, right, tell you what, we need to bring out a game that maybe hasn't got, graphics are on it, because each year sort of computers are getting more powerful. Every sort of 5 years or something, you get a new console or something, and it gets better. So you can keep the graphics at a good level, and still maybe, because it's quite powerful, you can add a bit more to the gameplay. Now, what I would love to see is do you remember? Now, this is a PlayStation game, so when I first got PlayStation, Red Faction.
Yes.
Do you remember Red Faction? Now, Red Faction is a game where you could basically blow the shit out of anything.
Destructible environment.
Yeah, completely destructible environment. The first one, more so than the second one. The first one, you could literally blow through walls. You could blow into the floor. If you used a bazooka or your grenade, it blew chunks out of everything. Everything, pretty much, 90% of it was, destructible. You could blow everything up, and that was amazing. So you could make your own way through things. And even when you couldn't, you could bore into walls and stuff, and it was, it was ridiculous. You wouldn't get anywhere, but it was because you could do that if you wanted to.
It was fun.
Yeah, and I liked that. And it's like, why don't they do that more? Why don't they do something
Because we've got focus on graphical fidelity. We're about how it's even more accurate and precise and realistic. When really, we need to focus on gameplay, game mechanics, engage the player.
Well, that's it. Why didn't Minecraft is a pixelated game,
Absolutely.
which is massive, because they've just kind of gone, you know what, we're not really that bothered. Square boxes, and then we'll just play around with the gameplay. The guy obviously didn't spend a lot of money developing and stuff. He just did it, and now it's one of the biggest games around.
Absolutely, and fair dues to him, he made a fantastic game. Absolutely graphically simplistic, but incredibly playable, and that is what the purpose of games are. Play.
And it's the same with RTSs, you got the Warhammer Total War ones and stuff like that. Now they have increased the unit cap a bit more.
Oh yes.
But I was always used to annoy me in games like Age of Empires and things and the Age of Empires HD version's flying around here somewhere, which I haven't played yet, but I'll probably get that when it comes out. But those games, there was a unit cap, and there was you could only get a certain amount, and even originally in the Total War games, you could only get 20 units. So when you're playing Napoleon Total War, and you're playing the Battle of Waterloo, and you basically got 20 units, and I was like,
that's not the Battle of Waterloo.
Yeah, that's just this mild skirmish.
Yes.
And it annoys me because it's just you can't. I would prefer that they focus less on the graphics. One of my favorite sort of games, historic sort of war games. It was a game called Fields of Glory, and it was basically an old Napoleon and you could play the entire Battle of Waterloo, all units, all sort of moving on, and it was great. Graphics weren't brilliant, but I love that game,
Yeah.
and it's stuff. I think you need something like that. I think they need to kind of go, okay, graphics are great now. Let's just focus a bit more on gameplay,
On functionality.
Functionality,
And playability and gameplay mechanics and physics mechanics. There's a reason why Portal is still played 10 years on. Because it is a fun game.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
And if you're looking for, look for true innovation, the res section, that is where you look for it. Because they don't have the graphical power. They just think, okay, let's compensate that by having unique gameplay mechanics.
So have you got any examples, any other games that you've played them?
Bushido. That is a really fun game. Side on, single screen, and it's basically light and dark. When you play as a light ninja, when you play as a dark ninja. And the screen goes between light and dark. And shards, parts of the screen go light,
Yeah.
parts go dark. Light ninja can hide in the light, dark ninja can hide in the dark.
Oh, okay.
Functionally, very easy, very simplistic. But the amount of gameplay and tactics you can do from that very simple mechanic is fantastic.
Okay, sounds interesting. That sounds interesting.
It's graphically simplistic. You could probably play it on a 5-year-old PC, but it's fun. It is very fun.
I saw 2000 AD's Rogue Trooper there.
I'm a massive 2000 AD fan.
Yeah.
And Rogue Trooper, I played the original, loved it on the old Xbox.
Yeah.
And the new one is just as good. It's a remake, Redux. They call it a Redux. It's not exactly a complete remake.
Right, okay.
But it's, back to the basics for Rogue Trooper. And that's no bad thing.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
All right. Yeah. I didn't get to play it. I saw it, and I was going to play it, and I was like, I'll give it a whirl. Because I remember I played the old version.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so...
If you like the old version, you'll like this one. It's just the old version even better.
Yeah. Are there any games out there that you think should be brought back? Is there anything you thought, that should totally be brought back?
Well, I loved Laser Squad back in the day, and now we've got XCOM, so I'm happy.
All right, okay.
Yeah, no.
Do you remember a game called Megalomania?
Oh, yes.
Where it's basically had a thing, we nuke them. You used to get it on,
yes.
I had it on the Atari ST and the Mega Drive, I think. And you basically you go through different epochs and your guys evolve and you sort of take them. Love that game. Really
Those
good.
dungeon crawlers, either Beholden, either Beholder 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Those were classics. Could never get past this certain bit on either Beholder 2. But yeah, really fun games. Really just need to get my modulator out again and have a play with them.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I'd like to bring that back. Add some classic top-down car games.
Card games?
Car games.
Car games.
Top-down.
Oh, like there's like micro machines flying around and stuff.
Oh. Machine's okay, but it's too small. It's something a bit meatier.
Right.
Top-down shooting games. I'm completely blanking on the name of them, but yeah, it's a classic game back in the 90s. Yes, I am that old. Where you basically top-down racing game with guns.
Racing game. It's going to annoy me now.
Yeah.
I think I know which one you're talking about as well.
Yeah.
No. There's going to be people listening to this shouting at us right now.
They are. Yes. We're sorry.
Yeah. I'm just really bad with names in general. I recognize things. That's my problem. I recognize things and people. But names, forget about it.
How about you? What games do you want brought back?
There's some old sort of like Star Wars games that I really like. There's like Star Wars Supremacy,
yes,
which was basically a game that you could do in space and on land and stuff. So you basically had like big sort of fleet battles.
Yeah.
And then, you could blow up the Death Star, and like, they were pretty massive. And then you could sort of land on planets and take over planets and things. And me and my dad used to play that over the LAN and stuff. I'd love a game like that, like a bigger style one, being a massive Star Wars fan. And we're engulfed by flames once again. We are studied by a dragon. What else?
I know what game I want brought back, or at least, a Battletech role-playing game. You had Crescent Hawk Revenge and Crescent Hawk Inception. I mean, we are getting a new Battletech game coming out 2018. Fingers crossed. Jordan Wiseman behind it, the creator of Battletech. What more can you ask for? A BattleTech RPG, please. That's what I want brought back.
Okay. We were talking about RPGs last week. So, you're obviously a man who enjoys a good RPG.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, enjoying a good RPG. What's your general what class, race, class, and what's the word, leaning do you go for?
Okay, I'm playing Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Really, really cool system. Pathfinder system is spot on. Really good system. And I'm playing a Jedi. And I'm playing a nice Jedi, trying to tell everyone not to kill everyone. It's not working out too well.
So do you usually play good guys? Or
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive fan of Joseph Campbell.
Right.
And the hero myth. And I like exploring that, using the structure of role-playing to explore the hero myth and like the path of the hero.
Yeah, I can't be a bad guy and things. That being said, Ben Fee, who does stuff for us, he's a really great dungeon master, and we do a rogue trader, Warhammer thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm a captain. I've talked about this a few times, but I am Captain Girk. I'm in charge of my own ship called the Never-Ending Sorrow, which is an ex-Dark Eldar vessel that we've sort of commandeered. And I've got a ragtag crew who just disobey me on a regular basis and end up getting their arms. They keep on going off and doing things themselves and coming back, with the Inquisition are after me, and like some of them don't have the arms. One of them's dead and now consists of just nanites. He's a person made of nanites. And we got to a part in one of our missions where we'd done a side quest where we were meant to be giving supplies to a planet. And instead of sort of just going off and either just flogging the supplies or leaving, we managed to start a rebellion on the planet, and then I became governor.
As you do.
As you do. So basically, I had my whole thing. I could talk, so I was able to persuade the local PDF, who were out to arrest me, that the guy who was their general was going to try and kill them all and stuff. And so they all turned against him, and there was a bit of civil war. I got emplaced as the governor of the planet. They renamed, like, the place where we landed was called Girk's Landing and stuff. It was great because it was just like, it wasn't meant to happen, and it did.
Was it fun though?
Yeah, it was great fun.
That's the mission accomplished.
Problem is, because I was trying my best to do everything for the good of the people, and I was like, right, we need to save them, we need to do this. But Ben kept on throwing in curveballs and things, so it's like there was these people trying to undermine me all the time. So I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I got to the point where I realized who it was and what they were doing. And in my mind, I was trying to stop them from sort of taking over the planet. And so I killed them, basically. But then it was just like, you just killed a bunch of priests. And I was just like, yeah, but they were trying to overthrow me. And it's like, that's what every dictator says. And I was like, oh no, I'm becoming everything I hate. And it was like, if you look at our last podcast, I talk about it. It's called The Moral Quandary, I think. But and it got really it made me sort of step back and kind of go, shit. Yeah. What have I done?
But that is a good role-playing game, and that kind of makes you question your own actions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
Talking about role-playing games and the games we want brought back, Knights of the Old Republic, 1 and 2.
Oh, brilliant
games.
games.
Were classics.
Brilliant games.
And I want those, but I want a new sequel.
They were talking about or they're trying to get a Netflix series out of them.
Ooh.
That could be good.
That could be very good.
Yeah.
I'll be behind that.
I played the Old Republic, the MMO RPG.
MMO.
I played it for up to like the level cap.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't very many people on it, so I stopped. And that was all right and stuff. Now I have friends who sort of still play it and things. But those were good games. You know, like old Star Wars and like Dark Forces was a great game.
Yes.
X-Wing and great games.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron. The first Star Wars game I ever remember playing was on the Atari ST, and it was that one you see that on T-shirts and stuff, where it's like all the red lines and stuff.
Oh, the original Star Wars video game.
Yeah.
Yes,
like, really.
I played that on the Spectrum.
Wow, yeah. It's sort of
and we are talking complete
Spectrum
wireframe.
Loading tapes and then putting them back.
Yep, load the tape, switch it over.
That just shows you how old I am. Like I was walking around with like Connor and Ryan, and we went into the retro gaming section, and they were just like what is this? Like, because
I mean,
they would not been around for any of it.
People complain about load times. I remember waiting for 5 minutes to load a game on the Spectrum. That is a long time. 30 seconds, that's fine.
Nothing.
You can make a cup of tea. Chill out. 5 minutes, that's a long time.
Talking about the retro gaming section, the guys from Play Expo are here today
Oh,
at
nice.
EGX, and they are also got on the 14th and 15th of October, or is it 13th and 14th, whatever that weekend is, 14th and 15th, I think, of October, Play Expo in Manchester at the Event City. It's big gaming convention, biggest gaming convention in the Northwest.
Oh, wow.
It's massive. Lots of retro stuff, lots of new stuff, and we're there in the community section.
Excellent.
So
We'll be there.
we're probably going to run another tournament. Not sure what game yet. I might be bringing my gaming table with me. So play some tabletop. Ben's Fee, I think, might do some RPG stuff. So our table from Geek and Son. Might be bringing that if I can get one, people to volunteer to help me move it, and two, get a van to get it there and stuff. But so that'll be that, and that's midway through next month.
Yep.
Cool.
Wow, that's not long left, is there?
You know, and I haven't organised yet, so I need to sort of get it
on
sorted.
it. Get on
The
it.
thing is, trying to get people to do stuff. It's like, yeah, I might do it, and then later on they're like, I can't do it, and I'm like, fuck's sake. And Matt ends up having to do everything.
Matt does everything.
Matt ends up doing everything. Anyway, on that note, I think we're going to end it here and stuff. I think my girlfriend's son and stuff's about looking for things, so I'm going to go.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure, Pete.
It's been an absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, sir.
And you're doing a write-up in this.
Oh, yes, I'm doing a write-up.
I've got some photographs and stuff to put on as well, so you'll be able to see what we're talking about.
Yes, we'll listen to my favourite games of EGX 2017.
Yep, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. I've been Matt Geary.
I have been Peter Rielson.
This has been EGX. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.